How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Marco here, bringing you another rookie profile. And it's been a wide receiver kick for me lately, and I am bringing you one of the most underrated, I think, wide receivers in this class. Obviously, he had a ton of hype, and then he had some injuries. But let's just say the name. It's Justyn Ross, wide receiver out of Clemson. He's a little bit older than the other guys in this class because he, dealt with the injury. And I should say injury. It's not really an injury. He had a genetic fusion of the vertebrae in his spine. So he had surgery to work on the neck spine area of his body. And that's obviously a large concern for an NFL or a college football player. So that knocked him down a little bit. And I think because of that, coming back from that, his production wasn't what people were hoping. And that's why he's a lot lower on a lot of people's rankings than even where I have him. I have him as my wide receiver 7 in this class, but I think he has the chance of probably blowing up the most or jumping up rankings, blowing up people's rankings the most when you look at every single player in this draft, not even just wide receiver, but player. I think he's that kind of upside, and people are kind of sleeping on what he's able to do if he's able to get right and fully get back from that, of course, genetic issue that he's already had surgery for a little over a year ago at this point. So let's talk about his production. He's 6'3", 205. I think I said it earlier. He's 22 years old. In 2021, coming off of surgery, of course, 46 receptions, 514 yards, 3 touchdowns, which isn't hyper impressive, of course. But again, take it with a grain of salt because we saw what he could do when healthy, when fully not worried about this genetic issue that he had already treated. Of course, it's spinal. We got to worry about that. But let's move on. Breakout age of 18.7, 94th percentile. He is a freak. Okay, I'm going to say it. His stats don't show it in 2021. He is a freak. He is the perfect combination of athleticism, ball skills, football IQ. He has all of those intangibles, and he has the physical giftings to be an elite wide receiver in the NFL. It's just, is this issue with his spine neck going to be a large looming concern for him? Are injuries going to be a large looming concern for him at the NFL level? I am one who is a little bit leaning on the side of I'm not as worried about them. And maybe I'm naive, but I think that he's going to be able to prove a lot of people wrong. Maybe not his rookie season, but I think as early as his rookie season in the NFL. Let's talk some of his strengths and weaknesses. So like I said, he's 6'3", 205. His size is great. His athleticism is great. He's a very good route runner, especially when you look at the short to intermediate areas of the field. He dominates in that area. Pretty solid change of direction. His stop-start ability is pretty good, especially for a guy of his size. He has really good hands. He's not really a body catcher. He catches the ball with his hands. He's not afraid to go up over guys. He has the occasional concentration drop. I think he averaged around 4 drops a season in college, which isn't great, but it's not horrible, especially because a lot of his catches are contested catches. And he does those he really excels when it comes to the contested catch area of his game. And I think that's something that's going to help him thrive in the NFL. He has also incredible run after the catch ability, especially for his size. Like I said, that 6'3", 205 range. And really when you look at weaknesses in his game, I think just what's going on with his neck spine genetic issue, the injury concerns, I think that's the only question mark. And I think that's why he had such a lackluster 2021. I think he's going to come back, find a team that is willing to take a chance on him, and they're going to be really grateful. I've got him as my wide receiver 7 in this class, and I've actually got him comped to another guy who hasn't played in a while, and Michael Thomas. I think really what he does in that short to intermediate area of the field is really reminiscent of what Michael Thomas does at the NFL level. Sure, we only saw one tremendous season of that from Michael Thomas, but I think we could see that from a Justyn Ross. And obviously, 2022 might not be the season where he does all of those tremendous things. It wasn't for Michael Thomas. But if he can get healthy, he can put some of this another year behind him. We could see someone who does have a true breakout at the wide receiver position. And I don't like what people are kind of saying, well, it's kind of like the Mike Williams situation. And Mike Williams had a breakout this year, but it was late. I think that Justyn Ross is going to be one of those guys who puts it behind him a little bit earlier. He does show out at the NFL level, and I think if he lands on the right team, he's one of those guys where situation and competition could slow him down a little bit, but I think talent over situation is something that we are preaching all over the place, but we kind of forget, and I think Justyn Ross is one of the guys who is going to capitalize on that. People who sleep on that and give situation more weight than they do talent, they're going to be mad and upset that they passed on Justyn Ross. He's a guy who you're going to be able to get in your rookie drafts really, really late, probably mid to late second, maybe even early third. We'll see what draft capital does. If he goes undrafted, I know some people are talking about that. They wouldn't be surprised if he did. That would be really surprising for me. But he's a guy I'm willing to take a flyer on no matter what, no matter his situation, no matter where he goes, because I believe in the talent. He's proven he can do it in college at the highest level in Clemson. And so I think he's going to do it at the NFL level as well. Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at Marco_14P. I'm always happy to answer any DMs that you guys send or any questions that you guys drop below or on Patreon. And that's all I got for you. Thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you soon, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.